Hey, my name is Jake Sheldon, and in this video, I'm going to cover all things Facebook groups. How to find the best Facebook groups, what to post in them, and how to convert tons of leads using these groups. I'm personally in about 200 Facebook groups and have produced hundreds of sales and generated hundreds of thousands of dollars using these exact strategies that you are about to learn. So if you're looking to grow your pest control company with Facebook groups, then this is the video for you.
And today we're going to be talking about how to find the best Facebook groups for pest control. So this is a strategy Jake loves. We've seen it work really well across pest control companies, and it's also free. It's also pretty easy. So we're going to be talking about first how to find the best group. So thanks so much for coming on, Jake.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So first, let's just talk a little bit about why Facebook groups are so important and what have you seen from them?
Yeah, so number one, of course, for the people watching this, you need to be doing them because they're free. Doesn't cost any money. Mm-hmm. So I would say that's number one. Number two is you're getting their brand out there to potentially tens or even hundreds of thousands of people. Again, this is free marketing. That's why I believe every single service-based business should be doing Facebook groups because it's free and it gets your brand out there very, very quickly.
Awesome. And then how do you go about finding these groups? Like what groups should you be joining?
Yeah, I get this question a lot, and I would say you do want to be specific with the groups, but you also want to get volume out there and test. We talk about that a lot. It's just testing a lot, making sure you're doing that. Now, I would say the groups that I've gotten the best results from are typically your community groups, your entrepreneur groups, your business owner groups, and definitely if you can infiltrate some like local mom groups or even dog walking groups, those are fantastic to get into. And the groups I would stay away from that aren't typically going to be the best are going to be your like buy, sell, trade groups. Those aren't going to be really what you're looking for. Any group under 300 and less, typically not going to be great either for you. You typically want to have enough population in the group where there's some engagement and people are seeing it. So those would be the groups that I would stick to. Then I've seen the best results from.
Awesome. Okay, so it should be a bigger group, and it should be local too, right? How do you know it's a local group, and how do you find that out?
Yep. So Facebook has a search section, of course. So, and there are quite a few people who don't know this, is you can search by people, by groups, by pages. When you go to search the group, say you're in Dallas, Texas, you can actually search, Dallas networking group, Dallas realtors, Dallas local mom groups. You can actually search those things, click groups, and it's going to pull up all those groups in your local area. Now, you do want to be specific with your search terms in Facebook because sometimes they will not pop up.
Yeah.
I talking to some people and they're like, hey, I can't find any groups here in my area. I'm like, okay, are you searching your city name or your suburb name before? And they're like, oh, no. I'm like, okay, well, go ahead and try that real quick. And it actually will pop up if you're a little bit more specific. I'm not sure why it does that, but you do want to be specific in your search term. And we can go deeper into that later of really how to look for those. But you do want to make a list of all your suburbs everywhere in your area. And that way you're making sure you're finding all the valuable groups that you can post in.
Okay, cool. So searching the top cities there, making sure that it's a bigger group. And then how do you get into these communities? Because some of them, they don't want people selling, or at least not like super outright. So is there a question there of like people letting you into the group versus just like a public community?
Mm-hmm. So there are there's some tips that you can use. In the beginning, I was just saying I lived in the area. And you can get into some of those groups. Now, for some of you watching this, they do have some very, very specific questions to get into these groups.
Yeah.
And it can be pretty difficult. Mm-hmm. So what I started doing is I was asking my clients if I could have their permission to use their address to get into these groups. Or you have, which we can go into a little bit later, but you actually have your client post on behalf of your company or do a shout out in these groups for you. So now it's not you posting about your service. It's actually the client is shouting you guys out. And it's like a referral. It's like the best thing you can do. And you can get a lot of people to do this, which we'll go a little deeper into later. But you can so to answer your question fully is you can either borrow someone's address, or some of these groups are pretty easy to get into. You just say you live in the area. Or if they won't let you in, then you get permission from one of your clients, friends, family members, a buddy, whatever it may be, get their permission to get in the group. Or you can just ask the admin to get in the group. And that's not a bad idea either. So just do whatever you can to get in as many groups as possible, because we'll go over that in a little bit. But you want to do volume. Volume is so important when you do this.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you'll likely need an address. And how many groups should you join? Can you just join 5? Or I've seen people join like 75.
Yeah, so that's a problem I see with people not getting the results that they would like from this. They're like, hey, Jake, like I joined 5 groups and I've been posting all the time in these and I'm not really getting anything. Well, I'm in 178 groups. So I'm in a lot of groups. Now, this might seem crazy to a lot of you watching this, but we do 10 posts per day in 10 groups. So it's, let's just go back. It's 1 post per day. 1 post in a group, and you only would do that 1 time per week.
Okay.
Because you don't want to overpost in groups.
Yeah.
Now, that's the reason why you need a lot of groups. I would actually recommend 50 if you can. If you can. Some of you watching this may have smaller areas, so just join as many groups as you can. But if you're in a city with 100,000 people or more, you're going to have 50 groups that you can join. And so you can do 10 groups per day, 5 days a week. And that's, you're at least 200 posts per month.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
You do 200 posts a month, that's going to add up, and you're going to get leads, going to get sales coming through that.
Definitely. And
People think I'm crazy when I say that, by the way.
No, it sounds crazy, but I mean, if it works, it works. Yep. And it's in different groups. So I'm assuming most of these people aren't in every single group and they're not seeing your post several times. Like it's the first time they're seeing the post, the same way you might be posting across different social platforms. Another question I have here is, does it differ and does it matter between joining these groups on your company page versus your personal page?
Great question. So I would say you should do both, but a lot of groups will not let business profiles onto their groups. Mm-hmm. So another thing that I think works better anyways is your personal page. Your personal page, you're a person, right? People are going to trust you more. You don't look like you're a business spamming people, and we'll go into like what to actually post later, but people are going to trust you way more if it's a personal versus a business. So essentially you should do both, but I would focus more on the personal side of things. You're going to get way better results. People are going to trust you way more, and you'll get like I said, way more leads, way more results if you do the personal.
Awesome. And just to kind of come back full circle to like the idea of the video, which is the best Facebook groups. And you touched on this a little bit, but like what are specifically the best ones? Is it the mom groups? Is it hyper local, smaller, bigger? Like just let's get a little bit more tactical there.
Yeah, it is different for every area. I've seen local mom groups just absolutely crush it. We've had people sell hundreds of accounts just from one local mom group.
Wow.
Actually, I've seen networking groups work really well. I've seen business owner groups work super well. They partner with other businesses in that group, build friendships. Yeah. They send business back and forth to each other. So it's not necessarily like one group that I'm like, hey, you have to be in this group or you're toast. It's different for every area, but I would say the essential ones that you should definitely be in are going to be your business owner groups, entrepreneur groups, networking groups, community groups are great. Anything local, and then suburb groups, local mom groups for sure. And the last one would be like any like dog walking groups. I know it sounds silly, but it works really well.
That's a good little nugget.
Yep.
Okay, interesting. I was actually kind of under the impression it was mainly kind of residential prospects that you're looking to connect with, but you're saying it's also maybe strategic partnerships or even commercial clients. Can you talk on that more?
Yeah. So one of the best ways to generate leads for your business is partnering with other businesses in town. So a perfect example, if you're a pest control company and you want to partner with a lawn care company that doesn't do pest control, well, you guys can send business back and forth to each other. he sends you leads, you send, vice versa, right? So these are fantastic places to build relationships, friendships, and strategic partnerships are in these groups. And it doesn't have to be just lawn care. This can be HVAC, plumbing, moving, you name it. You can grow really great friendships and strategic partnerships from these Facebook groups. And I've done it, and hundreds of other pest control owners that I know have done this as well.
Absolutely. So again, we're talking all about what to post in the Facebook groups. So I guess maybe somewhere to start here is, should it be text or a photo or video, or does it really not matter?
Yeah, so this is a fun one for me, because I've been doing this for literally years and years and years and years, and I've tested a lot of different things for this. So one thing I want to say first is you don't want to just put text all the time. It's fine when you're testing a few things, which we'll dive deep into this, but number one, you want to introduce yourself to the group. No matter if you've been in this group for 15 years, introduce yourself to the group, because there's people in the group who don't know who you are for the most part.
Yeah.
And if they do, you're probably already making a lot of money if everyone knows you in the group.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing, is you need to introduce yourself to the group. It could be something as simple as, hey, my name's Jake. I own a local pest control company in the area. Just want to introduce myself. We can take care of you, blah, 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 blah. Like, you literally want to make it super simple, say why you're introducing yourself, and tell people that you're there to help them. Now, another thing that you want to put in there is a disclaimer sentence at the end. So the disclaimer sentence is, hey, even if you're not interested in my service, whatever you guys are doing for the service, I would still be happy to connect.
Yeah.
So that is really, really important that you guys do the introduction statement. I do have templates for this if you want to reach out. I have templates. I've been doing this, these types of posts for a long time. But those are kind of the essential components that you want to do right away. So that's number one. Do the introduction, say who you are, why you're there, and then do the disclaimer sentence. It's super important to get that out so you don't look like a spammer or that you're trying to sell something right away.
Yeah.
So introduction. Another thing that you need to do is post a picture with that introduction. Don't make it just the text. So that introduction photo, I've seen people like try to do like discounts or like, hey, get your first service for 50% off and da-da-da-da. I'm like, no, because I've done that.
Yeah.
And sometimes you even get kicked out of the groups, which that's ultimately what you don't want.
Yeah.
So don't do any like discount posting or like, hey, we're doing this awesome price or whatever it may be. That's for ads. It's not for these group posts. We want to build community, want to build trust. This is all for value, trust building, and like authority, like we've talked about.
Yeah.
All right. So post a picture of either you and with your team, like your business, or what I've actually seen work best is if you do an introduction post with your family. Like the best ones I've seen is people holding babies, holding puppies, holding kittens.
Yeah.
Something that's like, I guess, trustworthy, relatable, right?
Yeah.
And or cute, right? One of the best ones we've actually seen get results from was one of my buddies posted a picture with him and his dog, and it was a golden retriever and had sunglasses on, and it just blew up.
Dang.
So that's one of the first posts that you want to do is the introduction with a wholesome photo, I guess you could say.
Okay.
And I wouldn't do a video right away. I would actually stick to the image on that first introduction. So I know I just kind of rambled for a little bit, but that would be the first post that I would do.
Awesome. Okay, so you have to start out with an introduction post in every single Facebook group that you join.
Yep.
And then what follows that? And actually, maybe even something to mention here is like, do you need to be engaging with the group regularly? Should you be commenting on other people's stuff, or can you just post yourself?
Yes. So the next posts, we do have templates for this as well.
Yeah.
But you want to thank the group for you even being a part of there. So you want to build social proof. So after that first introduction post, if you're doing this at scale and at volume, you're going to have people reach out to you and you're going to have people sign up for your service if you're doing this enough. Mm-hmm. And so what you're going to do is you're going to publicly thank people, or you can even tag people. And so you say, hey, everyone, thanks for showing me the support. You guys have been awesome, da 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 da. So you're just going to show thanks to the group for supporting your business. Now, everyone who sees that post will be like, they might not saw the last one, the introduction. So they're like, who's this guy? Like someone who's supporting them. And then they go through the post, they read it. And again, it's another wholesome picture of you and your business, or you and your family, or you and your kitten, or you and your dog, whatever it may be. But again, it's now you're building a little social proof that other people are choosing to use your business. Again, you want to stay away from like the marketing material, like, hey, we're offering, 50% off or $50, whatever it may be. You want to stay away from that.
Yeah.
Keep building value from the group. Now, after that second post, then you actually want to provide like real value. Jonas does this great. He's already done the introduction post, the value post, the social proof post, and now he just goes in there and provides value. And you guys can check those out. He basically repurposes his TikTok videos, and he repurposes on Facebook groups. So this is going to be like how to get rid of, carpenter ants on your deck. And he'll just post a video of like how someone could get rid of them themselves, or how to get rid of mice in your garage.
Yeah.
And, it sounds counterintuitive to show someone how to do it themselves.
Yeah.
But the more trust you're building in these groups and the more people see you as an authority, you're just building your brand, but really even your personal brand, because you're using your personal profile for this. When anyone goes to think of pest control, they're going to think of you now because they've seen the group for months and months and months posting this value. They're going to be like, oh, that Jake guy on that Facebook group's been posting about pest control for months. You know what? I should reach out to him instead of going on Google and searching someone. They've been seeing you over and over and over and over and over. So that's where the real power is with the Facebook groups, is building value and building community, building trust, building authority in these groups at volume.
Awesome. Okay, so you have to be giving a lot of value. Does pitching ever come into play? Like, do you just ever outright like, hey, buy my services, guarantee 50%?
I have done that before and it didn't work well. I've actually found the more value you get, the more sales you're going to get. So it's really, really interesting because you would think it would be the opposite, because we're so used to a direct response world, because that works fantastic with ads. We both know that. But when you're in Facebook groups, it's different. You need to have value first. You need to build the trust, to build the community in there. Now, one thing I will say that does work outside of like value posting is like a priming post, I guess you could call it. Some marketers would call it that, is, hey, has anyone seen, gophers? Or, hey, has anyone seen these bugs? And then you'll like take a picture of, or like a stink bug or whatever it may be. And then everyone that's been seeing them would be like, oh yeah, I've been seeing that. I've been seeing that.
Dang, that's good.
So you get like a lead list of all the people who've been seeing them. Yeah. And then you plug them at the bottom and be like, hey, it looks like there's quite a few people seeing these bugs. I'd be happy to help you. You can leave your phone number or your website link right there. And now you have a lead list that you can reach out to as well. Hey, I saw you're dealing with stink bugs. Be happy to help. Boom, 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 boom. Now you have a lead list.
That's so awesome. And should you address that in the comments or just in the messages? Like, as in, just reply to that comment and pitch them, or like kind of a soft comment and DM? Like, does DMs play into this as well?
Yep. So if you're going to do it that way, I would, at the end, let the comments really build up.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be at the end of the comment and you're going to leave your website link or your phone number at the bottom. Mm-hmm. You don't want to like comment on every single post.
Yeah.
Because then it looks a little spammy. Mm-hmm. But I would actually reach out to each one of those people and I would DM them, but make it a very, very soft pitch.
Yeah.
You don't want to, again, you don't want them to report you to the admin or kick you out. Now that's another thing we can go into if you'd like.
We'll do that the next video.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little strategy you can do with getting the admins on board with you.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. And then the other thing I was mentioning a little bit is like, do you need to actually be engaging in the groups, or can you just be posting?
Yes. So you definitely want to be engaging with the group, especially if you should be tracking this, by the way. You should be tracking which groups are producing the most sales. So out of all of our groups, I said in the last video, we have almost 200 groups that we're in.
Yeah.
I know exactly how many sales I'm getting from each group.
Huh.
And so you want to track that. Now, the reason why you want to do that is you could go, 6 months in a group and you're posting there all the time at once a week and you're not getting any sales. Well, you could probably just toss that group out and maybe wait 6 months to a year to post in there again to see if it kind of kicks back up.
Yeah.
But the groups that are doing really, really well, like we actually have about 14 to 15-ish groups that just crush it. And those are the groups we really, really focus on. Get very, very involved in those groups. Make really, really good content for them. Always liking stuff, hearting stuff, commenting on posts.
Okay.
You want to be very, very engaging in the groups that are producing you a lot of leads, right? Just makes sense. So.
Okay. So you have some favorited groups, or maybe like, you're involved in like 200 different groups.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't make sense. You don't have time unless it's like a virtual assistant or something that's engaging on all of those.
Yep.
But your top 5, maybe your top 10, definitely be engaging in those regularly.
Yep.
Cool. Something else that I wanted to ask you was, is there like a certain drop off regarding ROI in posting groups? Like I would guess that the first few months are great because everyone's getting to know you. They didn't even know you before. So you're building that brand awareness and, maybe you do some of those posts and they go viral, but is there ever a drop off or do you continue to see results in ROI from it?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. As long as the group is still growing, you should actually see better results as time goes on. Now, if the group is not a growing group, it's not an engaged group, it's going to drop off, which you will see quite a bit actually. And that's why it's so important to test and why it's so important to do volume of this. It's because I see a lot of people, they'll be like, Jake, I did 5 group posts in 5 different groups. I'm like, awesome. My virtual assistant did that in 5 minutes. It's like, and that's another thing we can go into later. You can have a virtual assistant do this for $4 an hour.
Yeah.
Just do all these posts for you.
Again, we love talking about Facebook groups. We are huge proponents of them. And something that you may face if you've tried doing Facebook groups is that you may get banned or admins are getting upset with you because you might be kind of pitching your services. So we want to really talk about and explain how to not get banned. And there's really no one else better than Jake to talk about this. He's been doing Facebook groups for a while. He's involved in 200 himself. And even in the last video that we made, he was saying
almost
that
200.
Okay. Almost 200. Yeah. It's the same
Not
thing.
quite.
I think 186.
178, I believe.
Okay. 178.
I tried to check before we did our video earlier and I just wanted to see how many it was.
Yeah, a ton. Yeah, so we totally love Facebook groups, and you mentioned that you got 100 accounts just from one group. So super powerful. Now we want to jump into how to avoid getting banned. So thanks so much for coming on the show, Jake.
Yeah, appreciate having me.
Absolutely. So maybe we can start out with what are like the top things you shouldn't do in Facebook groups? What are the things that are like definitely going to get you banned?
Yeah. So things that are definitely going to get you banned from most groups, not all groups, but most groups are going to be your just straight promo, 50% off your service, $50 off your next service. Like that worked like 7 years ago, 6-7 years ago, and it was fine. But now admins are just shutting that stuff down and you're getting kicked out. Like usually the first post, like you're done. I learned that the hard way years ago. And so we stopped doing that. So stay away from like just straight promotional posts like that. Even if it's actually allowed, I'll even go a little bit farther into that.
Yeah.
Even if it's allowed, I would actually stay away from that anyway.
So no promotional posts at all? Like how far does that go?
I am really, really big on value now. We see so many more leads that come through when you provide value first into the group. Like we talked about in the last video, you will get so many more leads if you do that versus actually promoting your company. I know it sounds like counterintuitive to a lot of people listening to this, but just lead with value. Give as much value as you can away, and people will end up coming to you because they'll see you as the authority. They'll see you as the person in the area for whatever service it is that you're doing.
Hey guys, real quick, if you guys are really looking to grow your pest control company, check out what we do at pestcontrolmillionaires.com.
Awesome. Now, there will always be admins of a group. How do you kind of get on the admin's good side? I think you were kind of hinting at this, but like, are you coordinating and communicating with the admins at all?
Yeah, so one of the things that I've done in the past with some of these admins where the group is converting really well, I don't do it right away, but if the group is getting me a lot of leads, I'll actually, number one, reach out to the admin and thank him for allowing me to be in the group. So I say, hey, just gonna be honest with you, I've
made a ton of money from your group.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of sales from your group, and I just wanted to thank you firsthand. Number one, I'll offer them to like take them to lunch, or like dinner, buy them a nice steak, whatever it may be, and get to know them. And then I'll also give them a gift. And then lastly, I'll actually do their pest control for free.
Ah, dang. Okay, so you're in really good with them.
Yep. So like you really, really want to offer them value, because if the admin likes you, you have a personal relationship with them, that just like we're talking about getting banned, you won't get banned from the group if you have a personal relationship with the admin.
Awesome. And is there other things that get you banned? I would think maybe, I would guess other promotional items like doing like spam commenting all of your offers. Is there anything else that comes to mind?
Yes. Great point there. I see people when they do the priming post that we give, we have some templates that we give people. And when they do the priming post, which a priming post is, hey, has anyone seen XYZ bug in your area?
Yeah.
And you'll get a bunch of people to comment. Well, they'll see that and they'll actually comment on each post. So say there's like 30 people like, oh yeah, I've seen those stink bugs. Oh, those stink bugs suck. And then they'll just go in there and they'll spam their phone number or their website on every single one. And I'm like, that's going to get you, not always, but potentially kicked out, because people are going to see you as a spammer at that point. Okay,
cool. And like, what's realistic here? Like, are you just bound to get banned from, 10% of groups, or is it actually possible to never get banned?
It's tough to say. I've been banned from a fair share of groups for sure.
Yeah.
That's just because in the beginning I was doing all these promotional posts. I didn't actually know what I was doing yet. I didn't lead with value. And so if you're watching this and you're about to start doing this, if you haven't, please just give value in these groups. Don't do promotional posts. I promise it works so much better. You can literally get hundreds of sales from this. Not only just me or Jonas has gotten hundreds of sales from these group posts, but we know literally hundreds of pest control owners that do this strategy, and it's working for all of them as well.
Wow.
Very cool.
And is there any other components here? Maybe people reporting you, or if there's several admins, anything else to account for?
Not necessarily. I would say just stick to the admins and stick to their good side. Like if there's like 10 admins, obviously you might not want to take all 10 of them out to lunch or whatever it may be. But no, there's not really any strategy on that, if you will. I would just, if the group is producing really, really well, make sure you build a relationship with the admins, whether it be give them gift cards, take them out to lunch, or even do their pest control for free. That is like a little small tip that has worked tremendously well. Now, I've never done it. I actually had someone do it that went through our class. Is they actually became an admin of a large group.
What?
Yeah, and it was like a massive group. And they're like, dude, I'm like closing, XYZ number. I don't even know what it is, to be honest. I don't want to quote it, but they're crushing it now because they are the admin of the group and they can post whatever they want, whenever they want.
Dang. So I guess that's maybe the end goal.
That's the end goal. That's the ultimate cheat code, is become an admin of a giant local group.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. Well, I think that's just about everything regarding how to avoid getting banned in Facebook groups. Hopefully this helps, whether you're already, using our Facebook group strategy or you're just getting started. First, let's, I guess, kind of recap what we were talking about in posting. So we have that intro post. We will do usually weekly posts after that. And, maybe we might ask if anyone's been seeing a bug or something. So let's say you've been making these posts every single week in, maybe 10 to 50 different Facebook groups. And now people are starting to comment and engage, and they might be showing a little bit of interest. So how do you approach that?
Yeah. So there's two different ways. So there's going to be people that you're going to need to message, and you want it to be a very, very unsalesy message. Mm-hmm. And then the great part about the Facebook groups is most people will actually reach out to you. And that's why it's important to use a personal profile and make sure you're checking your messages because, again, you are a person. Another thing we haven't gone really into is making sure that your personal profile isn't full of a bunch of garbage.
Yeah.
I'm going to get into that later. But yeah, there's going to be two ways. Of course, you messaging them, that you reaching out to them. You want me to dive into that? What to say? So say, for example, you do a priming post. You say, hey, has anyone seen these kind of bugs? Let's say, use the same example before. It's a stink bug. You have 20 people that comment, oh my gosh, I've seen them. Oh yeah, they suck, or da-da-da-da, right? Well, you're going to message all of them. Say, hey, Sarah, I saw that you commented on my post in XYZ group. I own a local pest control company here in the XYZ area. I'd be happy to help if you ever have an issue with this again or blah, blah, blah. So you always just want to reach out to them through that message if you're doing a priming post. Let them know that you can help. I've seen people do this where they're like, I'll offer you a XYZ discount if you get signed up today. Da, da, da. Well, again, that's fine for ads. This is completely different. You don't want to come off spammy. You're providing value in the groups. You want to be a very, very soft pitch. Now, if they're interested in you helping them out, they will message back and say, hey, you know what, Jake, I actually do need some help. Can you give me a call? And they'll give you the number and you call them. Now, if they're reaching out to you, of course, that's an easy sale. You just ask for their number and get them on the phone. Don't try to close them over Messenger.
Okay.
That is a huge, huge tip, is a lot of people just try to close the sale over the Facebook Messenger, and it might take you a week to do that. Just ask for their number right away, get on a phone call with them, and get them on your route. That is a massive, massive tip. I see a lot of people in our program try to do that. Get them on the phone.
Should you call them on Facebook?
No.
Okay.
Get their phone number and then call them.
Okay.
Another huge thing to this, I'm sure we'll jump into this later, but you need to track where the sales are coming from, how many sales that you're getting from each group. That's going to be super, super important to making sure this program works for you, is that you're actually tracking how many sales are coming from the groups.
Yeah, let's talk about that then. So how can you track the sales from each group? Are you just tracking the calls on something like CallRail, or is it more advanced than that?
Yeah, so there's a free way and then there's a paid way. There's a system called Go High Level where you can make a pipeline and you can call it Facebook Groups Pipeline. And you're just going to put your leads that are coming from these groups, and you're going to put it into the Facebook Groups pipeline. You can have a separate Facebook group pipeline for all of them, or you can tag them that specific Facebook group. So say it's called Dallas Networking Group. You're going to tag that as a Dallas Networking Group lead.
Okay.
And so that's the best way, I would say, to do it is actually track it through a software. Now, there is a free way. You can just have a Google sheet or an Excel sheet, put them all in there, and have a separate sheet for each group that you're doing. And we even track the time we post and the actual last post that we post in the group. So we actually have a log of all of our posts that we've ever done in a spreadsheet, and then we also track through Go High Level. So you can do both. I do both personally because I want to back up to my software versus on a Google Sheet. But I cannot stress how important tracking is to this, and making sure that your efforts are being tracked, and you know what groups are actually producing you the best results, because the groups that are producing the best results, you're of course going to put more effort into them.
Okay. So you need to have some kind of tracking in place. That could be a free Google Sheet, or you could go a little bit more advanced with High Level. And with the outreach, you need to be fairly soft touch. You don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too salesy. So I guess like what are some common mistakes there then? And you kind of already mentioned it, but that people are maybe calling them on Facebook, or what are the problems there?
Yeah. And that's why tracking is so important is I work with some clients and we'll actually go through it and we'll track some of their leads. I'm like, dude, you've actually gotten 6 sales in the last month with like barely doing anything.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, let's say you even get to 10. Well, if you do 10 a month, now you're over 100 sales a year just from Facebook groups.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, this like really, really adds up over a year's time. So that's number one mistake that people make is just not tracking. Again, I sound like a broken record,
Yeah.
but it's so important because the more you track, the more results you're getting, the more effort you can put in based on that. And then of course, I see a lot of people who just try to message their leads to death and try to get them close over message. I'm like, dude, it would have took you way less time just to get them on the phone and close them. So get people on the phone as quickly as humanly possible. Don't mess around trying to tell them about price and tell them like what you do differently and your competitive advantage. Don't do any of that. Just get them on the phone.
Okay, so talk to me about like kind of the standard funnel there then. So you give them kind of a soft pitch and like what is the conversation that follows and when do you call them in?
Yeah, so the great part, again, like I was mentioning, is most people will reach out to you. They're like, hey, Jake, I saw your post in the group, da-da-da-da, looks like you own a pest control company. I'm having ants at my house, or I'm having rodents, or whatever they may be. And I just say, awesome, I'd be happy to help. What's a good phone number?
Let's go.
They'll give me their phone number, let's call them.
And that's that simple.
It's that simple. Yep.
And then what are you saying on the phone? Does it differ between any other phone calls?
No, it's just the same pitch. Just introduce myself, hear their pain point, go over any objections that they may have for the service, go over our competitive advantage, and then do the close.
Awesome. And also maybe the last thing we want to cover here is speed to lead, which I know this is so important across platforms. Haven't really heard it touched on with Facebook though, and Facebook groups. How important is it specifically in this realm? Yeah,
just like any other platform, Facebook, Instagram, Google, no matter what it is, you always have to be quick to the lead. Because if someone's having a problem, they could easily just go to Google and pick someone else. So yes, always important no matter what the platform is. And that's why I say don't message them to death on the messenger. Get their phone number as quickly as humanly possible so they choose you and not someone else in town.
And is there a certain time, like ideally within 24 hours or just overall as fast as possible?
As fast as possible. If it could be 5 seconds, you should do it.
Wow. Okay.
As soon as they message you, it pops up on your messenger. Make sure you have your notifications on, by the way.
Yeah.
Message them back in the first 5 seconds if you can. Don't wait. It's not, it's not a dating game or anything.
Yeah.
Like we're trying to get their phone number as quickly as humanly possible to get them on the phone to close.
First, I guess we could start out with the actual scripts of what we're doing for the posting. So I know you're a big advocate for this, but just to be clear, like, should people use your scripts or should they make their own scripts? Just to like make it easier for posting instead of like, coming up with a new script every time.
Yeah. I mean, Jonas says it all the time, don't reinvent the wheel. So we already have scripts that work. We've been doing it for literally years. I would just recommend just copying what we've already put together in our templates. It's really simple. We have 5 to 7 templates, depending on how many you want to use. But I always suggest just using our first 5 templates for sure. And then you can get creative after that because you'll start seeing the simulators in the posts and you can get creative after that.
Okay, awesome. So then you start to make your own from there. Would you ever recommend people using ChatGPT to make the post or they write them themselves?
When people see the templates, they're actually much more simple than you would think. I think the mistakes that we talked about in previous videos is they try to promote. All you really want to do is prime your audience and offer value. Value. It's so important. So as long as you're just keeping your post simple and providing value, that's all you really need to do. It's really simple and do it at volume.
Yeah, awesome. And then where does automation play into this? So maybe we can talk about the role of high level first. Like how much of this process can we automate?
There's not a ton you can do with the group posts or that you want to do with automation. I just use Go High Level for like the tracking purposes through my pipeline. So I can track how many sales are actually coming through the groups. Now, one thing that you can use AI for, ChatGPT for, is finding groups and finding like the suburbs in your area. So say for example, you're in Dallas, Texas, there's a lot of different suburbs, right? You can have ChatGPT put all the suburbs down and then, say it's Plano, Frisco, Dallas, right? All these areas. Each one of them are going to have their own Facebook groups. So it's going to be like Dallas networking groups, Dallas entrepreneur groups, Dallas business owner groups. But the same thing for Plano, same thing for Frisco. So you're going to have the same types of categories, but for each suburb. And that's why it's really important to have a spreadsheet or a pipeline or something that you're tracking all these different groups in, because it's easy to miss some.
Awesome. So that's the thing you can use ChatGPT for. And I guess I'll go back to my previous question, just to be clear here. Like, would you recommend, after maybe someone runs out of the templates and they're, or even that they don't want to use templates, maybe they want to use their own thing. Should they write them? Like, do you think people can write a good one, or should they use something like ChatGPT?
Yeah. Because as far as like the value goes, you guys already know what you're doing. I'm talking to the pest control owners right now. You already know what you're doing as far as a service. So a simple video could be how to get rid of carpenter ants on a deck, or how to get rid of rodents, how to get rid of stink bugs. It could be that simple, where you're just giving value away of how to treat the issues that you're already doing every day anyways.
Yeah.
And we've talked about in previous videos, Jonas actually doesn't even do the teching, and I guess neither do I, but we both have our technicians film videos now, and we use our technicians videos in these group posts.
Yeah.
And so it's really them taking care of the problem, and we're showing in these videos the value of, hey, this is how you can get rid of it on your own. Again, sounds counterintuitive to show people how to do your job, but it actually does build authority. It builds trust, because people are like, oh, wow, this guy owns a pest control company. He's teaching me how to get rid of the issue. That's super interesting. But I promise, guys, it works really, really well to get leads, because they're going to start seeing you as the trusted authority in that group.
Yeah. Well, especially you have the local relevance. So it's not just like you're, I don't know, kind of a famous pest control guy in the US. It's like, no, I live in a small town in Nebraska. And like this is like, everyone knows this pest control guy in Nebraska. It seems like that's almost the positioning that you're looking for. And now let's talk a little bit more about systemizing. We can start with virtual assistants. So I know you're super big on virtual assistants. You literally have a virtual assistant staffing company, and you already sold one before. You're super big on it. Where do virtual assistants come into play here?
Yeah. So to be transparent, my virtual assistant does everything from the writing the scripts now, because they know what to do. The only thing that we do is we send them the video, they edit the video, and they do the postings.
Dang.
On all the groups. So they essentially do everything.
Wow.
For these group posts.
That's crazy.
Very simple. So that's what I, of course, would suggest doing, because your guys' time is worth more value than what you can pay the virtual assistants for. Virtual assistants are absolutely amazing. We'll go into this later, but they don't, in a lot of these countries, they don't need to make as much to live a very, very quality life.
Yeah.
So you can pay anyone from like $3 to $10 an hour, depending on where they're at, to do these tasks for you. And we all know here in America, it's expensive to live here. So your time is worth more than $3 to $10 an hour. So you shouldn't be doing these tasks. You should have someone else doing these tasks for you.
Definitely. And would you recommend that companies have like a dedicated Facebook group VA, just one VA that is only Facebook groups, or does it not take that much time?
No, it doesn't take that much time. They can do a whole lot more tasks for you than just that. Like my virtual assistants will take calls, they'll do my scheduling, they'll do my routing, they even order my chemical from Viserys. Like,
dang,
they do the whole 9 yards. So no, they don't need to just be doing Facebook groups. It's not going to take them that long. You can have them do other things as well.
Okay. Now, someone that's starting out, let's say a smaller pest control company, maybe doing less than 100K a year, do you think they should be doing all of these activities? Should they be picking up all the calls, replying to all the messages, be personally involved, or should they just get a virtual assistant and kind of do other things?
I would say just get a virtual assistant right away. It's going to make your life so much easier, because again, your time is worth more than $3 to $10 an hour. Just get a virtual assistant right away to do these tasks for you, even if they're just helping you out for an hour or 2 hours a day. Just have them do something. It also gets you, talk about this a lot later, but it also gets you prepared for delegation. The sooner you can learn how to delegate your tasks, the quicker you're going to grow.
Yeah. Okay. So you have to be able to relinquish some of those activities. Like, you're not the person who's always going to be picking up the phone. You have to be okay with that. Like, but I mean, maybe I guess a caveat here is like your virtual assistants aren't a pest control expert. So when they're making those posts, do the scripts actually come into play, or how do you train them, I guess, on this? Yeah.
And that's why we always suggest using our templates in the beginning.
Yeah.
Just because we already know what works. We already know what's going to convert. So I would just suggest doing that for sure. But over time, you can actually train ChatGPT to learn how you're doing the posts, and it actually comes out with posts almost identical to what we do.
Wow.
So ChatGPT is definitely a very, very good tool to utilize with that. But your virtual assistants can learn what kind of posts that you're doing over time, and you can train them on that. But honestly, it's a really easy task. Once you guys see the templates and what we're doing, they're just so simple. Again, they're just videos providing value. So they don't need to be experts on anything. Just give them the scripts, have them post it. They can make more scripts as time goes on. It's really, really simple.
Awesome.
It's not hard at all.
And the last question I got for you here is, Ben, how can you keep virtual assistants accountable in something particularly like this? Like, do they need to fill out a spreadsheet every week? Are they reporting to you? Like, how can you make sure that this is getting done?
Yes, so you definitely want to track this either on a software or in a spreadsheet. You're going to have all your suburbs on that sheet, just like we were talking about. You're going to have what group, like have the group URL link on that spreadsheet. You're going to have the last post, so the posting URL. And then you're going to have the date that you posted in there, and then how many leads came from that specific group. So they're going to track all that. You're going to give them that spreadsheet, and you're going to have shared access to that spreadsheet. So that way, you know they're actually doing the posts, and then you can even go click and see the posts, see if it's gotten comments, see if it's gotten engagement, anything like that. So it's really, really important for your virtual assistant to track that, so you actually know that they're doing the work.
Awesome. Okay. So there has to be some kind of reporting there, because I'm sure like, some people might hire a virtual assistant and, you might just not check the Facebook groups. You kind of trust the virtual assistant and they end up kind of falling flat on you. So awesome.
One thing I want to say, Danny, too, is I wouldn't suggest right away them, like a virtual assistant, actually making the sales from the groups. I would actually suggest the owner making the sales from the groups, like actually doing the calling in the beginning until you start scaling your company. You can have the virtual assistants do the posts and the commenting and things of that nature, but I actually wouldn't have them do the sales instantly unless you've trained them very, very well on the sales aspect of things, which does take time and delegation. But I wouldn't do that until you scaled your company a little bit farther.
Awesome. Okay. That's a good distinction. Okay, cool. Well, it seems like we've just about covered everything regarding automating Facebook groups, systemizing them, and how virtual assistants play a role in that. So I think that was a great episode, and thanks so much for coming on, Jake.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. I know that we really appreciate you guys taking the time with us here. If you guys have any questions, comments, make sure to throw them in the comment section below. And if you found this valuable, make sure to like and subscribe, and to share with your friends who maybe own a service business themselves. Again, our goal here is to provide as much value to you guys as possible. Also, if you guys are really looking to grow your business, make sure to check out our website at pestcontrolmillionaires.com. We'll have the link below in the bio, and we'll also have a free school group for you guys to check out. So thanks for watching.